Good morning, trucking junkies. As you can hear, we are warming up the truck. We're about ready to go. So we've got 109 miles to the customer. We'll be there about 10:30, maybe a little after, but definitely before my appointment. So yay! And we'll get something else, and we'll go someplace else and whatnot. So let's go. I had to stop at this rest stop for a second and check out this Mad Max looking thing. Hey, he got barbed wire on the stacks there, man. That's pretty neat. I don't think anybody's gonna be crawling up on him. Let's go. All right, trucking junkies, we're here. And we got to unlock. There we go, because I'm going to need that other side. We're here. We're going to get unloaded. I got to get the tarps off first. Straps. So let's go do some work. Alright, so I've got all but the middle securement off. And that's so that I can move with it still being secured. This is what I was hauling. Stainless steel plate. Bunches of it. Bunches of it. So we have a pre-plan. We're picking up over at Precoat, which is about, I don't know, 20 miles away, over here in Hueytown. I've delivered there. I've never picked up there, but I've delivered there before. And that's going to Cabot, which is 9 miles from my house for tomorrow. So if they can get me out of here, and they can get me out of Precoat pretty quick, which they're usually pretty quick, then I can possibly get home tonight for a night, and then go pick up something tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. As you can see, we are moving again. Man, that took a while. I was there almost 3 hours. Man, we're headed over here to Hueytown. We'll get loaded, because truckers know how to get loaded. See if we can't get my butt to the house tonight, at least for one night, since they're sending me back to Cabot. Got plenty of drive time left. Like 9 hours or so. Just gotta get there. You guys stay tuned. We're gonna do I got a Navy story we can tell you. Let's go get loaded first. We're here, and we're waiting on these two guys right here to get loaded. So it's going to be a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and set up my deck and get all the chains and everything. We're just picking up 6 coils, which means I got to put 2 tarps on this crap, because 1 tarp won't do it. Anything over 4 stand-up coils, got to use 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my chains, over center binders, what do you call them? Edge protectors. Old age, man. I'm going to get all that set up, get my tarps and everything on the deck, and be done with that. That way I can get her done up and get on the road. So this is what we've got. Look how small those things are, man. I bet you stack 2 of them up and they're not even 4 foot tall each. But because I've got 6 of them, I gotta use 2 tarps. Bummer. Well, let's get it fixed. I'll show you when I'm done. We are moving again, and I forgot to take video of the tarp job. It's just your normal tarp job. But we're gonna go down and get some fuel, and then when we get back on the road, ow, I'm gonna tell you guys my Navy story. But let's go get some fuel first. Let's go. All right, so it is starting to get a little dark, and I just got done getting fuel. And it's only 4:30 in the afternoon. I was gonna get me a Wendy's burger while I was in there, and I stood there for about 5 minutes. And the lady there was like two people in front of me, and then a lady ordering, and that lady couldn't decide what she wanted. She kept asking them what was on this, what was on that. I didn't have time for that, man. So they were having buy one, get one free Mountain Dews on your Pilot app. So I got me some caffeine and got back on the road. Let's go, right? Dang. So anyway, let's talk about the Navy a little bit. So, for those of you who don't know, I spent a couple of years on the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is an aircraft carrier. Let's move over here. There we go. Oh. I'm gonna hook up my headphones. Maybe I'll get a little better sound. All right, so let's try this. Okay, so I spent a couple of years on the USS Abraham Lincoln CVN 72, which is an aircraft carrier. When I was on it, it was the largest aircraft carrier that we had until the George Washington came out, and it was a little bit longer. And I believe the Reagan is a little bit longer than that. Slow down. Yeah, I know, lady. So anyway, so we would go out for carrier qualifications, okay, and we'd be out for a couple of weeks and then come back in, and sometimes we wouldn't come back to Alameda, which is a little island in the Bay of San Francisco. We would go to San Diego for about a week or a few days, and then go back out for a couple of weeks, and then go back to our home port. Well, when we visited San Diego, everybody that went on shore leave for the day would hightail it down to Tijuana. All the young people, I should say, because in Tijuana, the drinking age was 18. All right. Now you could go over to, I believe it was Camp Pendleton over in San Diego, the Marine base, and you could drink on there if you were 18, and they were trying to, circumvent people going down to Tijuana and getting in trouble, right? So there was this one night we went down to Tijuana. There was a bunch of clubs, right? And in Tijuana, or at least it was the last time I was there, which was, like I said, 30 years ago, or 28 years ago, 29 years ago, something like that. There's this one street that all the bars were on, Revolution Street. Okay, so you'd walk over from the border over to Revolution Street, which was, I don't know, a mile, maybe a mile. Not, it wasn't very long. It didn't seem like it was very long, because you had all your buddies there standing around talking, right, as you're walking. But anyway, you get over to the bars, and that's where everybody was at. And those streets were just crowded with people, man. And on Wednesday nights, if you went down there, it was college night, so all the colleges from LA to San Diego, they'd all drive down to Tijuana, park their cars on the US side of the border, walk over to the border, and go down there and go do some drinking. Well, we get over there, and earlier in the night, we're standing around and outside a club, and it was me, John Gore, and another guy from my division. I can't remember what his name was, but anyway, so we're standing there and we're thinking about, we're talking about whatever club we're going to go into, and there was a group of Marines. I think there was like 4 of them. There's either 3 or 4. They were standing out there talking too. Well, this little kid comes up, and in Tijuana you got vendors, and everybody's trying to sell you something. and there's always beggars around, okay? And a lot of it is little kids. The parents send these little kids out to the street at night, and they beg for money, and then they take it back to, their family. Well, this one little kid, he couldn't have been more than 13. He was probably 11 or 12 is what he looked like. He was bugging this group of Marines that were standing there, and he was wanting money from them. Well, this one Marine kept telling him no, kept telling him no, kept telling him no, and then started cussing at him and told him to go bugger off, and all this stuff. And he, just annoyed the crap out of this little kid, right? Because this kid he was just, I guess he was hungry, needed money, right? Well, we ended up giving the kid some money. Well, the kid went away. And we all went and we did our drinking and all that stuff. And I think I saw that group of Marines a couple of more times that night. Well, the last time I saw them, John and I were sitting. They were doing some construction work on planters out on the sidewalks, right? So they were building these big, huge square planters, and I guess they were going to hold trees or whatever, because they were pretty good size. I mean, you could fit, if y'all sat around the thing like a bench, I mean, you could probably fit 20 people around this thing, right? So John and I were sitting on this planter, waiting on the other guy that was with us. He was in the liquor store that was at the corner of Revolution Street and the street you had to go down to get back to the border gate. Well, he wanted to go to the liquor store because that was the only place that you could get mezcal with the worm in it, and that's what he wanted. He wanted a bottle of mezcal that actually had the worm in it, And so me and John were sitting out on this planter, waiting on him in the liquor store, and I noticed that group of Marines standing around. They were standing around talking on that corner. Well, John and I were sitting there talking, and like I said, they were doing construction on these planters, so there was construction material all around. This little kid, I noticed that little kid again. He come up behind me and John and picked up looked like a 2x4. All right, but it was a little shorter. I mean, this thing had to have been maybe 3 feet long or so, right? And he picked this thing up, and I nudged John with my elbow. I said, "Watch!" I said, "This kid gonna go jack somebody." And he's like, "No." And John was from Mississippi. Okay, he was from Mississippi. I'm from Arkansas. So he's like, "No, it ain't gonna happen." I was like, "You watch." And that kid walked around us, came up to that Marine that was standing there, the one that was just hounding him and crap about begging for money, and he clacked that Marine right in the back of the head, boy, laid him out. I rolled on the ground, man. I fell off that damn planter laughing. John's eyes were about as big as round as saucers, and he was like, "Man, I ain't never seen anything like that before in my life." I was like, "I told you he was gonna go jack somebody." He did. He laid that Marine out, and that kid took off, man. Our friend came out of the liquor store, looked at the Marines like, "What the hell happened to him?" Dude, we laughed the whole way to the gate. Oh, it was hilarious. But anyway, that was one of my Navy stories. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm getting on down the road. We'll see how fast I can get home. Let's go. All right, people. We just dropped the trailer off, locked it up. We're gonna head to the house. We'll be back in the morning to take this load 9 miles down the road. We'll get it dropped off and get us another load for the week. I am staying out this weekend. This just so happened to be a chance for me to come home. Whoop. Okay, they're way back there. They don't look like they're moving very fast. Whatever. We'll get our butts out here. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. You guys hit that subscribe button and come on back tomorrow. do it all over again. See ya.